Okay, so we're gonna talk about edges, why I do my edges. So I'm gonna be looking in this little mirror, like, you can't really see it, but I'm gonna be looking right here. But follow me. So before we even get started on what products or what you should use or buy, because I know how y'all love to buy stuff, I actually want to tell you, you need to stop touching your edges, okay? That is very important. That is really key here. The more simple your edges hair growth routine is, the more growth you will receive in the long run. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, you need a simple routine that doesn't deal with too much manipulation. And I really want you to think about what I'm saying, because think about it. Your edges are so small, delicate, sensitive, fine, that do you really think over manipulating them, overly putting in product is really going to do anything good? Okay, we all know what over manipulation does. So you really kind of have to leave them alone. More than likely, you're experiencing this hair loss because you are doing the most. You are over manipulating. Okay, so now that that's kind of out of the box, I feel like we all know that to some degree. I still had to say it. Let's get into what I would actually purchase in order to get my edges growing. So the number one thing that I always love to start with is black castor oil, because black castor oil is really a sealant and it's a penetrating oil. Okay, that's why it's so thick and kind of so weird to work with, because while it's penetrating at the same time, it's also sealing. It's like a lot going on, but it's the thickest oil that coats your hair strands and really helps protect them. It penetrates it on the inside, it protects it on the outside. So when you place black castor oil on your edges and you really massage it in, it does this really cool thing where it coats your edges and it really helps you leave them alone. Okay, now I know some people say that they've tried that before and it didn't work. To be real with you, I feel like what a lot of people tried was using black castor oil as a quick fix it, and they still kept going in with very harsh, abrasive, you know, manipulation, which means still installing cornrows, still ripping out edges, still putting in high poofs with a lot of tension. And then they just tried to put in black castor oil real quickly to try and fix it. So if you're somebody like that, I really kind of want you to look at black castor oil in a different light. I want you to try again. Okay, now if black castor oil still doesn't work, which I kind of feel like is very highly unlikely, but I know everybody is different. So if black castor oil still doesn't work for you, girl, okay, listen up. I'm going to need you to stop stressing about your hair, okay? Now, I know that you're probably like, what sense does that make? That's not something I can buy. That's not something I can use. Believe it or not, you can actually stress about your natural hair so bad that you can actually cause thinning hair or hair loss. Okay? And so when I see that black castor oil isn't working and you aren't actually adding in super manipulative styles or anything of that sort, then I start to kind of realize that you actually are stressing about this, and you're stressing about it so much that you're causing hair loss. Okay, so I need you to take a step back, and like I said, don't touch your hair. Kind of sit back and let her cool it. And I know y'all probably are looking at me like, girl, what is you doing with your edges? It don't look like you doing nothing. Let me explain. I love to go in with a jelly first and kind of get where I want my edges to be before I go in with my edge control, because I kind of have thick hair. So when it comes to having that edge control, or not thick hair, but I have a lot of hair. Okay, so I tend to have a lot of edges and just a lot of flyaways. So before I actually go in with an edge control and it locks my hair up, and then I have to take, the brush or the little rat tail comb and actually like really dig into my edges, I rather just do it with the jelly and then go over it with the edge control, which is something I actually want you guys to use. A lot of us are going in very, very deeply and harshly in order to swoop our edges. So if you're somebody who your edges are kind of on the verge of thinning and yet you're still doing them for some reason and you just can't leave them alone, I would say start going in with a jelly first and then swoop your edges and then go over it with the edge control. And also think about the edge control that you're using, because you can find like a hair growth oil or something like that to place in your edges to promote hair growth. But if you're going back over it with a edge control that doesn't agree with your biostructure or whatever, and it's causing you to have an allergic reaction or it's causing you to break out or have hair loss, you need to think about it. Maybe I need to switch up what edge control I'm using. Maybe that edge control has too much alcohol in it. Like, you really kind of have to think about these things, because to be real with you, black castor oil is my #1 hair growth oil. But if you feel like you could find a hair growth oil mixture that runs you $60, I want to let you know, just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's going to work. And the reason I'm saying this is because you could literally, and this is my biggest tip. This is why I don't believe in hair growth oils or anything like that. You could look at the ingredients list online. Then you could purchase everything in the ingredients list, and you could essentially make the oil that they're trying to sell to you for $60. Now, I don't recommend that when it just comes to regular hair oils, okay? Regular hair oils are usually, they only run you like 20, not even 20. They usually run you like $15. So for you to go read the list on a regular hair oil and then go purchase everything, you're going to spend way more money. But when it comes to hair growth oils, the way they market hair growth oils is that they're this thing that's going to instantly give you a bunch of hair growth. So you've got to spend $60, $70, $80 because this is going to be the thing that does it for you. That's cap. Okay, that's cap. You can read the back of the ingredients list. Anything that doesn't make any sense, don't buy that. And go ahead and make you a really true, authentic one, okay? And save yourself $60. Even hair growth vitamins are capped, okay? Because you could literally get the bottle, read what it has in it, and then go to Kroger or your local grocery store and then buy the vitamins that hair growth vitamin claims to have in it. And then you can even get tested for what you actually are deficient in. And so if everything in that hair growth vitamin you're not actually deficient in, you're basically going to spend $150 on a 3-month supply and then pee it all out because you were never deficient in that vitamin in the first place, okay? And whatever your body does not need when it comes to vitamins, it's just going to pee out. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you to buy hair growth vitamins. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to waste money on hair growth oils. I really need you to watch that last video that I did, if you did not, on what hair care practices you should be using in order to promote growth for your edges. I'll link that above. It's not really the title isn't really worded like that, but I'll link it above. And I need you to actually start massaging your scalp with black castor oil. If you find that you don't like black castor oil that freaking much, then you can find another hair growth oil. I'll list some hair growth oils in the description box below, okay? But it really isn't too tough to grow your edges back or to thicken them back up. And that's one of the reasons I like black castor oil so much, is because black castor oil helps thicken your hair up. Like, there are times where I have to stop using black castor oil because it thickens my hair too much, okay? Like, at one point, it thickened up my edges so much that it didn't even really look like edges anymore. It kind of just looked like my hairline. So that's not cap either, but that was for me personally, okay? Me and black castor oil are like this. Black castor oil doesn't make my hair feel like soft and silky or anything like that, but after 3 months of using it, like, you know, every wash day and massaging it into my edges or whatever, my hair is blacker, it's healthier, it's not dull, it's not lackluster, and everything is pretty much a little bit thicker than what it was. So that's why I promote it so much on my channel when it comes to hair loss. But like I've said in the previous video, if you're somebody who has never had edges in the first place, please believe you're not going to get edges, because it's not something that you had. It's not something you were born with, okay? Sorry for the little burp, my bad. If you weren't born with it, you're not going to have it, all right? It's like men with hair transplants. Like, everybody makes fun of men when their hairline starts to recede and then they go get hair transplant. If it was just as simple as buying an oil, every man would have been bought an oil, okay? Every man would have been took some hair growth vitamins. But they skip all that and they go straight to hair transplants because you can't get something that you don't have. So if you don't have the hair follicles, or you don't have, your scalp isn't cooking it right, and what I mean by cooking it right is actually like growing hair, then you would have to resort to hair transplants. But to be honest with you, I don't really think it's that serious, because your edges, it's nothing that serious, okay? So if you never really had them in the first place, by all means, don't waste money trying to get them. If your hairline is thinning, since you are somebody who has had edges, then yeah, I would definitely want what, I have. So I would try that black castor oil. I would try low manipulation. I would really try to just leave my edges alone and let them grow. You know what I mean? I would check my edge control. I would make sure that I'm using a nice soft bristle brush in order to swoop my edges, okay? It's the simple things really that will aid in hair growth. The simple things, not the complex, expensive things. So this might not have been the video that you wanted, but I tell you that this is definitely the video that y'all needed, okay? And if you feel like you didn't understand what I was saying, you can go ahead. I'll leave my hair consultation link up there. We can sit on FaceTime. We can talk about it, whatever. And I can really explain to you what I mean more in depth. But until then, fill the comments up with any safe hair growth practices. And please do not leave rice water down there, okay? Rice water is not going to aid in growing back your edges, okay? The only reason rice water is helping people's hair grow right now is because this is probably the first time like 90% of all rice water users have actually stuck to a hair regimen, okay? Yeah, like that's the real tea, okay? Rice water, it's not really anything like vavoom. It's literally, this is the first time that they're sticking to a product, that they're sticking to a routine, and that they're sitting back and just letting the routine promote that hair growth so they can retain length. Not promote hair growth, but retain length, okay? So it's not actually going to aid in growing back your edges, all right? But I love y'all. Definitely thumbs up this video, and I will see you in my next one, because your girl got to finish her edges, okay? It's hard to talk and do edges at the same time, so this might have been a fail, but thank you for watching.